Hundreds of Nissan Leaf owners gather to mark 2 years since the all-electric car first went on sale.
I think it will feel a little like a homecoming event, and I'm excited about that. Maybe the car is looking forward to it more than I am.
This week, the dashboard powered by Nissan comes from the celebrations here in Japan. We'll be going into the factory to see how the vehicles are built. How new technological developments are making the already environmentally friendly Leaf even greener. And zero emissions does not mean zero performance. Hot laps in the all-electric Nissan Leaf Nismo RC.
That was fantastic. I had no idea you could go that fast with electricity.
I'm Roland Burke and welcome to the dashboard powered by Nissan. And this week we're coming from Grand Drive at Yokohama. It's a rather windy Nissan test track in Japan. And we're surrounded by more Nissan Leafs than pretty much anyone has seen in one place. Leaf owners have come from all over the world for this event. It's a celebration of everything zero emission.
このイベントがあるっていうのは日産のホームページで見ました。海外でもいくつかイベントがあるみたいなんで、そのイベントと日本のイベントどんな風に違うのかなっていうのも興味深いところです。 一度にこれだけたくさんのリーフが街中を走るっていう光景はおそらく僕も今日初めて見るでしょうし、ご近所の方もそういう光景を初めて見るんじゃないかと思います。ホームカミングみたいなね、そんな集まりになるんじゃないかなと思って、それもむしろ僕自身よりも車の方がそれを楽しみにしているのかもしれないと思います。
2歳の誕生日、3、2、1、おめでとう。
Hello, how do you do?
I'm Gary Lieber from San Francisco.
From San Francisco?
Yes. How are you?
申し上げましたけれどもですね、実は、アメリカ、3番繰り返してありますけれども、これは日産自動車だけで。
ケータリングの車は結構いろんな種類の車が来てて面白いです。すごい楽しかった。
配備しながらそのライフスタイルを聞いて少しでも改良していく。
We had the same sort of owner event in Japan in March, and we realized that this sort of owner event is a very powerful experience.
...100台200台の規模で始まった車のイベントっていうのを今まで見てみると、10年20年と続くうちにもうどんどん数が増えていって、1000人2000人っていう規模に膨れ上がっていくっていうのも、何度も目にしていますので、さらにまた大きなイベントに発展していってくれたらなっていう気がします。
Well, there's a lot more still to come on the dashboard powered by Nissan this week, coming from the Leaf Owners event in Japan, including, before you get to drive it, the factory has to make it. We take owners behind the scenes to see how Leafs are built. And hot laps with zero emissions. Members of the public get to try out the Nissan Leaf Nismo RC, all-electric racing car. Well, I'm joined now by Hideaki Watanabe, who's the Corporate Vice President of Zero Emissions Vehicles for Nissan, to talk about the future of this technology. First of all, Watanabe-san, why is it important to bring Leaf owners together like this?
Well, I think Nissan alone cannot do everything. It's very important to listen to the voice of the customer. So that's one reason that we have to, invite the customers to talk with the actual drivers in order to understand what's going on. But at the same time, we want to make the momentum and we want to have the owners talk for themselves. Word of mouth is going to be a very powerful way to convince people and to escalate what we're doing, why this is necessary.
And this car has only been on sale for, what, 2 years? So these are the early adopters.
Right, but we've already sold 46,000 Leafs throughout the world. So this is quite amazing speed.
And how does that compare? I mean, some analysts are saying that 46,000 is just not enough, not sufficient sales. How does that compare to other new technologies like hybrid vehicles?
Well, when the first hybrids came out, probably the first 2 years they sold about 30,000. In 2 years, we sold 46,000. We will localize the production of Nissan Leaf in US and UK, so that will accelerate the expansion as well.
Now, this is a technology, zero emissions vehicles, that just doesn't stand still. What is next? What's the big picture? What's coming down the track?
Of course, we have pure drive. This is the improvement of current ICE vehicles, internal combustion engine vehicles. But we do have this first step, zero emission, 100% pure electric battery EVs, electrical vehicles. But now in the future, we may have FCEVs, fuel cell vehicles. But we're committed to this zero emission strategy. Looking at the world or environment, it's evident that this climate change is happening. Something is going wrong. So in order to have this vehicle mobility in the future for our sons or for our children and grandchildren, I think zero emission strategy is mandatory. That is why we are so committed in order to pursue this strategy go further.
Watanabe-san, Corporate Vice President of Zero Emission Vehicles, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, on the outside, the Leaf looks pretty much like any other vehicle, even one driven by an internal combustion engine. It's got 4 doors, 4 wheels, and the controls are in the usual places. But underneath, being all electric, it's a very different story, of course. Well, a group of Leaf owners got to go inside the factory to see behind the scenes, to see these cars being built, and we went along with them for the tour.
I'm like a kid in a candy store, to be honest with you. This is pretty cool. No doubt about it. I have always wondered how these things are put together, and just to see it's like a concert of a symphony of having these things put together, how everything's in motion, and it's just all coming together, and a brand new car spits out at the end. I'm Gary Lieber, and I'm the co-founder of the San Francisco Bay Leafs. We're a Leaf Owners Association based in San Francisco. We've got about 300 members, and we believe that we're the largest Leaf Owners Association in the world.
The factory is amazing. The automation that's here, the technology, the testing of the batteries and the design and assembly, and to actually meet the people who are inventing this technology that changes the world.
I've never been in a factory like this before, and what I noticed so much is that all the cars are in between each other. I thought it would be like one line for one car and another one, but you can just see also the Leaf, which we are interested in, to see being built up through the process, and it's really wonderful.
I love the robots. It's great to see them all running around carrying the batteries back and forth, and the fact that they're going to use the batteries from the Leaf in the robots is great too. I am Shannon Monroe, and I was one of the first Leaf owners in America, and I was the first Leaf in Florida.
At a lot of levels, you see cars flying over your head almost, going in and out. It's really great, yeah.
I drive a Leaf for a variety of reasons. I think it is the 21st century transportation. We love the car because it's so economical, it's so quiet, it's environmentally responsible.
I think it's time for a change, and it's amazing that Nissan has taken the risk to give me a choice. I can choose a gas car from them, or I can choose an electric car. My son, who's 1 year old, has never been in a gas-powered car because of Nissan and the risks they took to produce this car.
There's more still to come on the dashboard powered by Nissan, including another look at Leaf owners finding out just how fast electric can be in the Nissan Leaf Nismo RC. But first, other stories making the news. And the Renault-Nissan alliance has effective control of AvtoVAZ, the maker of Lada, and Russia's largest car maker. The alliance inked a multi-million-dollar deal on Wednesday with Russian Technology State Corporation for 67% of the joint venture, which owns 74.5% of AvtoVAZ. The second season of GT Academy has crowned its winner. American Steve Doherty beat 15 other Gran Turismo gamers during a grueling 6-week-long driving boot camp and wins a spot in the Nissan team for the Dubai 24-hour race in January. And Christmas came early to the Vatican. The Pope, Benedict XVI, has received gifts of 2 custom-made Pope-mobiles based on the M-Class Mercedes. Lower to the ground and running on unleaded petrol, these 2 models will join the Pope's fleet, which includes an all-electric Kangoo ZE, presented to His Holiness in September by Renault-Nissan Alliance CEO Carlos Ghosn. You're watching the dashboard powered by Nissan, coming to you this week from this gathering of Leaf owners in Japan. Now, innovative vehicles like the Nissan Leaf need innovative materials, not least rare earths. But mining rare earths, much of which is done in China, is a dirty business. So Nissan engineers have been working to use less of the minerals, as Ian Rowley explains.
Rock and roll. Nissan's zero-emission Leaf electric vehicle just got even greener. The latest version of the industry leader, introduced in Japan in November, has a new electric motor using 40% less of the rare earth mineral dysprosium, without affecting performance.
The driver will not notice any differences. Vehicle performance will remain unchanged. In fact, the overall performance increased, so drivers don't need to worry.
Dysprosium is added to the Leaf's electric motor magnets to make them more resistant to heat as they spin at speeds of up to 10,000 revolutions per minute. A new process called grain boundary diffusion allows Nissan to drastically cut rare earth content in a way that may extend beyond EVs and hybrids to use in other automotive applications.
Dysprosium is used not only in the motor to power EVs, but also in components of existing internal combustion engines. We are aiming to apply the technology to those components and work toward further reducing the overall quantity of dysprosium used.
Using less rare earth content is a goal of the Nissan Green Program 2016, part of a commitment to minimize the use of scarce natural resources. Cutting dysprosium in the Leaf also helps Nissan avoid supply constraints, with a large majority of the element mined in China, and lower costs as demand grows.
Rare earth metals, dysprosium in this case, are a scarce resource, which also impacts the environment during the mining process. Reducing the usage of such resources will reduce this impact.
For a new generation of Nissan Leaf owners, greener production is already complementing zero-emission motoring.
Well, that's nearly it from this special edition of the dashboard powered by Nissan that's come from this huge gathering of Leafs and their owners here in Japan. You can see more on those and many other stories on our Facebook and website pages. Before we go though, we're just going to leave you with another look at Leaf owners trying out this car, the Nissan Leaf Nismo RC racing car. From me, goodbye.
Ohayou gozaimasu. Wow.
First time?
Yes.
Wow.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
I always look stupid with my helmet on, but that's okay. My adrenaline is running.
Fantastic! I had no idea you could go that fast with electricity.
Yes! I want one of these. That was a great experience, man.
You just can't stop that car.
One more time.
I hope. This is a great little car. I tell you, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. This is so hot.
It's got all those characteristics of the Leaf, but it's turned into a race car. Oh my God, that was awesome!